and their face is more stressed. You wear stress on your face.
This acne, you have these huge zits.
I examine it and then I teach the patient what it means.
You're like, this is the cleanest formula. You're like, cleaner than what? Most.
One of the most contaminated things is bread.
Well, children aren't stressful. They're just children.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Celluverse. My name is Alana Keneally, and I'm here with the one and only Dr. Keneally.
Hello, everyone.
And my bestie, Jessie. My best friend, Jess Donovan.
Hello.
And we are so excited. We are going to start with our usual layout today, which is Pulse Check, where we go over the hottest stories in health news. And there's just been so much lately, so there's no shortage of interesting wellness stories. And this is, how we think about when things come up and you see this big headline, it's like, what's really going on? So one of the things that's become really popular is trying to conceive TikTok. And Jess sent me this video of women using Mucinex.
Mm-hmm. It's like a big thing. So you use Mucinex when you're ovulating, and it helps thin the mucus, so it's easier for sperm to get through. And so a lot of women are finding success in getting pregnant when they use Mucinex,
which is for your chest congestion.
It's basically guaifenesin, which is used for removal of mucus, but pregnancy and the process of trying to get pregnant is a very natural, organic process. And we don't know how that's going to really indirectly or directly affect the entire process. And it's not something I'd even give to a pregnant woman. So it'd be hard to use something chemical to enhance your pregnancy when it is just this beautiful life force that takes place on its own.
Yeah, it's like a slippery slope because I think women have success with it. So then they go on the internet and they're like, oh my gosh, I was having such a hard time trying to conceive. And then I did this and this worked for me. And then, when you're trying to conceive, sometimes you get to the point of desperation and you'll try anything. But it's what is preventing the sperm from reaching the egg in the first place? I don't think it's your body's lack of mucinex.
Right. That's exactly right. And then don't you want super duper good sperm?
Yeah. I'm like, I want the strongest sperm to meet that egg. Like if you didn't win the race, you didn't win the race. I don't want to give you a little booster. Yes. Let's boost our body. Let's make sure our body's in a good place to want to receive that. But I don't think that Mucinex is necessarily the answer, or at least it isn't for me.
Yeah. TikTok loves hacks. Biology doesn't. Biology really doesn't.
No. There's always a payoff, in my opinion.
Yeah. Price to pay for everything.
So you're saying this weaker sperm may be the ones winning when they shouldn't be naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's are you kind of forcing it? There is the component of the sperm reaching the egg, but it's there's a baby, there's a little soul that's reaching to wants to be a part of your family. And if that soul's not ready,
yeah,
why are we forcing the issue?
Yeah. That's so true. I feel like with every health challenge I have had, it's been a turning point in my life.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And so fertility and all of that, it's the only way, you have to go
through.
Yeah. The only way out is through. And I think, for a lot of women that that journey is actually incredibly necessary.
Yeah, and it's so sensitive to every woman, and it's a beautiful time to sit back and look at your family unit, look at your partner, look at yourself, and go, what do we need to enhance? What do we need to bring to the table so that there is another soul that wants to join what we have going on here? Mm. And when you sit back and think of it in that way and go, okay, maybe you don't know when you're in it, when the baby's going to be ready to come, but it's it could take a year. And it doesn't mean that you're infertile. It doesn't mean that your body's not ready to have a baby. That soul might not be ready for you.
Yeah.
You might not be ready for that soul. The lessons that you have to go through might take a year.
Yeah.
But just sitting with it and realizing that every month is a beautiful blessing that you can get closer to your spouse, closer to your children, closer to meeting that new baby, you'll meet that baby.
Yeah.
Right. And you also need to identify and have intention with the pregnancy
Yes.
and make sure that you're a beautiful vessel for that miracle that you're going to be producing, and be in peace and enjoy with the whole entire process. Make sure you're super healthy on a spiritual, emotional, physical level, and really set those intentions out, and with yourself and with your spouse, and just let nature do what it's beautifully does.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm pregnant right now. It's very early in the pregnancy, but we're sharing it here. But
Heard it here first.
my son, my oldest, was like, he was really resistant to us having a third for the longest time, which was out of character because he used to want a big family, but then all of a sudden it changed. And I would say that we were like trying to get pregnant off and on for like 6 months maybe. But he was never ready. And I kept on like having the idea of like, well, once he finds out the baby's here, maybe he'll be excited about the baby. But then there was that little part of being like, but I really want him on board. And when I finally did get pregnant, it was the craziest thing. Like, it was when I was in my fertile window, he just all of a sudden wanted to start talking about having a little baby sister. And he like couldn't stop talking about it. And that's the month that I got pregnant. And I truly feel like there was that little missing piece of waiting for that harmony to happen before that baby was ready to come. Like that baby wanted, or this baby wanted, the whole family harmony, everyone to be on board. And so then now I look at it, I'm like, well, I guess I only tried to get pregnant once because I only had his blessing this 1 month,
Well, and then also remember when you wanted to get pregnant in Bali, but there was so much like chaos.
No, I wanted to be pregnant in Bali.
Yeah.
But then there was so much chaos because I did get pregnant in Bali.
Oh, yeah, true. But you wanted to be pregnant.
Yes.
We were hoping you were, but then there was like dengue fever. Like, we're so lucky it didn't happen that way.
Yeah, like I was joking, but I was just saying like my baby took one look at what was happening when everyone had Bali belly and was like, absolutely not. I'm not coming into this mess. Like, everybody needs to get their bowels in check, and then I will considering rejoining this
Right.
clown
Well, and
show.
it was also the consciousness of the kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really believe that. So I think just sometimes we have our own ideas, and not that they're wrong. It's just waiting for the right time.
A lot of times we have our own ideas and then reality collects. And you have to explore that. You have to follow that path through so that because experience is the truest teacher,
Yes, I agree.
And so if you hack everything, you don't actually get to the point of understanding and knowing. Every big health challenge I've had is I'm like, what an opportunity. I have to chase down these rabbit holes and come out on the other side with so much more understanding what's going on in life. So health challenges are such a gift. They're always a blessing. They're such an opportunity to be brave.
They're never short because you forget.
Yeah, but every time I've had a health challenge has been like a big change in my life right after.
Yeah, it's like pushing you to something greater.
Yeah, it's elevating. You're up-leveling yourself.
So yeah, and I think, infertility for women is the most like face-to-face with that. We, because it's something we biologically, most women do want. But it just takes a lot of awareness to get through without the hacks.
Yeah, I also think that there's like people are really quick to use the word infertility when that might not be the case.
It's a soul delay, that's everything's trying to work in your favor. You just have to let things marinate sometimes. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Mucinex babies on TikTok.
Yeah.
There's always like hacks on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok loves the hacks.
Doesn't mean it's like good.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it's good. So we were talking about this beforehand and Mom was appalled, but this company called ClearPen is now offering at-home corticosteroid therapy for inflammatory acne. So basically a pen, you can inject it yourself at home with the corticosteroid.
Wow. Well, steroids are very dangerous, can be beneficial in certain emergency cases. But if you have acne, you should get down to all the contributing factors of the acne. as opposed to injecting yourself with a steroid. So steroids are basically chemicals that are not really good for you health-wise. You make cortisol and you make cortisone naturally by your adrenal glands, but injecting it can cause atrophy of the tissues. So you want to be careful. Like people get cortisone injections in their hips or knees and other parts of their body. But I always tell patients it's not the kind of thing you do repetitively because it actually is immune suppressing and atrophying of tissues.
Yeah, one time you said it's very anti-healing.
Right.
Explain why it's anti-healing.
Well, because like think about it, cortisol, you have this dance of cortisol in your body. It's high in the morning, a little lower at lunch, a little lower. So too much cortisol, like when we get stressed, is promotion of disease, promotion of cancer, promotion of degeneration. So it's not something you just start injecting your face with something that's going to, first of all, your skin, the last thing you want is more atrophied skin.
Yeah.
Also, like having the ability to have it at home. Like if you're someone that's like dealing with like major cystic acne, you might also be prone to like picking. Like it's almost a compulsory thing. Like you can't not. So
Yeah.
if you have the access to a pen to just inject, like I feel like you have a little thing, you're gonna inject it. Like
Right.
it's gonna be
an obsession.
it's gonna be way overdone, and then your body's need for it becomes greater and greater, and you can't deal with a pimple without using a shot because you don't have the tools of figuring out, well, why did I get this in the first place? Like, what's my body trying to tell me with this huge cystic acne that has roots that's like deep inside my body? Like it's telling you something.
So
Listen.
true. It's not funny.
Right.
It's so true.
No, it's really intense.
Yeah. The human body has these like cycles of healing that are so perfect. They're kind of like circadian cycles, you know? And so when we interfere with it, it can cause more issues. And in this case, like the price to pay just doesn't seem worth it. Like, why would I want the risk of my skin atrophying, thinning, denting? Like, if cortisol, the higher amount of cortisol, there's a lot of studies that show that it ages you.
Correct.
And you don't even need a study for this because everyone knows those people that are very high stress prone people. They like seem to just, their baseline is like higher elevated cortisol and their face is more stressed. You wear stress on your face. And so when you stick cortisol inside your face, you're compounding that problem. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Now, this is synthetic cortisol, but still cortisol still has the action of cortisol. And really how it's like working is it's like basically, stopping the natural healing cycle and reducing the swelling. But just because you're reducing the swelling doesn't mean you want to.
Also, your body's most likely already in a place of stress because you have this acne, you have these huge zits. So it's like we're just, putting cortisol on cortisol.
Well, right. And it suppresses the immune system of the skin.
Yeah.
So you're getting rid of something that you need your physiology to also fix you. So, and it's like there's a sign of underlying imbalances. If you have that, is it, what you're eating? Is it stress? Is it, your gut imbalance? Is
hormones?
Hormone imbalance. It's so many different things. So someone treating you, it shouldn't be just here's the quick fix, because there's always a price to pay for quick fixes. There's nothing easy, quick, fast.
And there's only so much surface space on your face too. Like there's only so much of your face. And when you do get that cystic acne, it's usually in the same spots. It reoccurs in the same area. So if you keep on injecting in the same area and then
No, I know people have holes like in their body from injecting themselves not injecting themselves, the doctor injecting themselves with cortisone. They literally have a cavity.
No.
And you're going to do that to your face.
So there should be a check and balance. An occasional, like when I have a patient and they say, "Oh, I did a cortisone shot," I said, "Don't do any more. That's it. You get one in your life. That's it. We got to fix the problem now."
It's become very popular for when people get like a large zit, they'll go into their doctor and
Yeah,
get the
I
injection.
hear people
Well,
talking
it's
about
not
on-
something that is new. It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
And I really have sympathy for people who do have very bad,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
acne.
an
I mean, it's
acne
hard to look at
survivor.
yourself every day with that,
Yeah.
but it is fixable. It is fixable.
Gosh, there is nothing worse than like having acne, honestly.
Right.
It true like it like messes with your mind because
It
you can't
does.
hide it. And I like always joke that whenever there's anything happening within me, like if it's something I can hide, I can smile through the pain. I can do whatever. But like if it's like weight gain or acne, everyone sees what's happening internally, and you're like, oh my gosh, they know I'm upset. They know like I'm having a hard time. Like it's so frustrating because you can't put the brave face on because it's full of acne.
Yeah.
When I was in Bali, the water's really bad there, and my skin completely broke out. And I fixed it in probably a week, but it was like all over my neck. Like I felt like I was a child again, and it was so triggering. I was like texting my esthetician, being like, "What am I gonna do?" And she's like, "You're gonna be fine. Like this is just a reaction to the climate, to the water." But like I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's happening again!" Like I
When
was
did
so
you have
nervous.
acne?
I had acne when I was like, I want to say I was like 20-ish.
Yeah.
18, 20, I don't know.
I had some acne in high school, and one time I called my parents I was like, I'm going home. Like, I just can't.
I'm going home, I have acne.
Yeah. It's like, I just can't right now.
Yeah, you're like, I'm taking a mental health day from school because
like,
I have acne right now.
No, literally.
I'm like, call the cops, day's over. Like, it's rough.
It is
and
really
It's
rough.
hurt. It hurts. It's painful. Like,
And you don't know what to do, and you feel helpless, and you're like, like, I just want to figure this out.
Yeah.
That's why people go on Accutane, which is just as bad as, it's very
It's a whole nother
dangerous.
problem.
It's a whole
Oh my
other
gosh,
And
problem.
then going on
horrible.
antibiotics, it's a whole nother cascade of
And you have to go on birth control to do all of those things.
Yes, exactly.
So
It's like a cocktail.
It's yeah. So you got to treat the internal terrain that created it.
well, yeah, I'm so thankful for acne because it got me to where I am now, because it made me look inward and be like, what is going on? Why is this happening to me?
Totally.
And-
I had to like investigate everything I was eating.
Yeah. It's such a crazy process, but it is really beautiful when you can, sit back and go, okay, this isn't me. I'm not just like a big walking pimple, even though I feel like it. And you can go like, okay, like how do we unravel everything that's going on? And
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for everything
So when you
I've ever
fixed your
had.
eating, did your acne get better?
Yeah, but it was like, it wasn't even my eating that was going on. I think it was like I think it was hormonal. I think it was just, I'm not even sure. I was super into Bikram yoga. So I was sweating so much. Like there was just like a lot of different things happening. I didn't know that like what I put on my skin was like I always like ate clean, Trader Joe's, growing up, or I like used clean products, but from what I know now, it wasn't nearly clean enough. And you just go on that journey. And when I did have acne, I only put things on my face that I could ingest. And that's what like changed everything.
You became more mindful and educated on how you take care of yourself.
Yep.
Totally.
A lot of trial in there though.
Yes. But that's how you learn.
Yeah. But no cortisol shots.
Yeah, I've never gotten one either. I don't think.
No, I would never.
Yeah.
Never give you a cortisol.
You're like, no daughter of mine.
Yeah. Are you kidding? No.
Yeah. Okay. So this just happened, like breaking news, but a company called ByHeart they make, what do they make? Formula. And they are now having to recall their products because of an infant botulism outbreak.
Oh, wow.
And they kind of tried to deny it, which made it worse. They were like aggressively fighting to deny evidence against them that their product was.
And how did that
Positive.
happen? How'd they get botulism toxicity?
Some sort of bacteria, probably in the powder.
Oh,
Or
wow.
something.
Wow.
What really annoyed me about the article is like talking all about this, and at the end, it's like, yeah, and raw milk's the problem, and I'm like, what? Like, no, actually, I think it's literally the opposite. Like, it's talking about this VC-backed formula company that wants you to not breastfeed. They do better when you don't breastfeed.
No, it's better if you breastfeed, if you can. I know
Yeah.
it's not
It's a
possibility for
sensitive
everyone.
subject.
Yes.
But it's good to talk about because
Right. Yeah.
you don't want, what if this was your child?
Right. And also you can make your own formula too. Also, if that's where it comes to, because sometimes there's delicate babies that can't handle anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes you end up, I know my niece, I gave her a recipe for a formula because the baby couldn't handle anything. So
I was talking to a friend when this whole thing came out, and she is a doula, and one of her clients, when the baby was born, was just severely allergic to her breast milk. And when it was like in the NICU, failure to thrive, like just couldn't tolerate the mom's breast milk. The mom ended up, and in return, she wasn't strong enough to breastfeed because, she was so small. So what happened is the mom ended up having to cut literally everything out of her diet so that the baby wasn't sensitive to it. For 2 years, she pumped, had the strictest diet so that she could give her baby breast milk. And that's a amazing
What a
sacrifice.
soldier,
Not
yeah.
everyone can do that, but it's just like, it is possible in extreme situations to push through and breastfeed. It's not always feasible, but I want people to know it's possible.
Yeah.
There is a huge sacrifice when you have a child. Like it's not just,
it is a sacrifice.
you shouldn't just think it's supposed to be easy. Like it's not. Sometimes it can be amazing and easy and blissful and perfect because it is the most amazing thing you'll ever do. But there are a lot of sacrifices that need to be made. And
you have to do what's right.
yeah.
Bottom line,
Yeah.
I know that's like, people have a hard time understanding that, but we got to do what's right and correct and what's most excellent for yourself and or the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that you say that having a child is a sacrifice. I always tell people that too, because sometimes I'll get young parents and I'll like, okay, so, I'm treating the woman for breast cancer. And then she's like, I said, well, what is your stress? And then of course she'll have other stress, but she'll also say her children are stressful. And I'm like, well, children aren't stressful. They're just children. They're, wild Indians, and they run around and they, make all kinds of noises, and they cry and they scream and
They're just like deeply feeling little humans.
Yes.
Because they can be.
It is just normal,
Yeah.
And it's not an unusual thing. And so just kind of enjoy every phase of it. And so they don't come out little angels, I'll tell you that.
No.
We have to direct them. We have to guide them. We have to model this behavior. But you're right. I think it's best, I think everyone would agree that breastfeeding or pumping, when I was working, I had to pump my breast. I would do it in the morning, but then when I went to work, I'd pump my breast. So, but I think it's not always feasible for everyone. So, and then some women don't enjoy it. And so, but really find the best formula or make your own formula that's going to nourish, strengthen your child.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes best formula feels like a little bit of an oxymoron because it's just what the FDA slaps on us is like, it has to have the seed oils and it has to have the folic acid. And there's no way around it. You cannot make formula without those two things. So anytime you're like, this is the cleanest formula, you're like, cleaner than what?
Yeah.
And
right.
That's why people try to get away with it with like the toddler formula.
Yeah.
Like they're like, it's for toddlers.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like, I guess there's less regulation on it.
Yeah. Like I think that Serenity does a toddler formula and they use the Alexander A2A2 milk.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's good to know that to be aware of this coming. It was funny because like a bunch of I was texting just this, like some of their competitors to ByHeart. It was like so savage. Like if you use ByHeart, never mind, use ours.
Yeah, like if you use ByHeart,
like stop using them, use ours.
We'll send you free formula.
We'll send you free formula.
Which is nice.
Well, the bottom line is you got to do your due diligence because I read a study where every formula had heavy metals in it.
Oh, yeah.
Organic and regular. So do your homework, Try to do your own thing. Try to
And you're
create
giving
your own.
the baby in a plastic bottle with.
Right. No plastic bottle, please. No plastic bottles. And eliminate the plastic for the baby completely.
But this would be so stressful if you worked at this company. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
they're not bad people.
Right,
it's not like
bad
it's
people
not
or
like they
anything.
started like a clean.
It can happen too.
A clean formula company being like, we are gonna give 20 kids botulism. Like that's not what they wanted. Their intent was pure, but like you know,
well, the last time I looked, people aren't perfect. Machines aren't perfect. Situations aren't perfect.
And mistakes happen, and that's why it's safe. I mean, I don't want to say safest, but it is safest to breastfeed because you know what's going in, you know what's on your breast. Like, there's nothing in between the breast and the baby.
Right.
Or, your bottle and the baby. Like,
yeah, I'm sure they'll do like an investigation and see exactly what things happen.
But it's just going to be like, well, it was the biggest accident we've ever made.
Yeah. In another life, I was a food scientist because I'm so fascinated by like food contamination.
Oh, yeah.
I have my food handler certification.
So do I. It's actually really easy to get that. So it's actually concerning how easy it is to get that.
Oh, gosh.
It is. Like, I mean, if you're a waiter, you have to have.
I never waited. I just did it.
Yeah, no, same. I've never waited either. But we could handle some food. We could start a cottage sourdough company if we really wanted to. Mm-hmm. Maybe in our future.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Just kidding, I've never made sourdough because I can't follow directions. And I'm not super into like recipes.
I'm obsessed with having a sourdough starter, and I use a discard for everything because my sister and my sister-in-law, they are really into making sourdough. But like I've never attempted to make a loaf. I just only use it in like muffins, pancakes, but I always have some sourdough starter hanging around.
Yeah, someone can just do it better than me.
Yes.
Right.
Like I want someone's life work in my bread.
I want their heart and soul in that loaf, and I can taste the difference. Like at the farmer's market. And like Rye even has, like Rye Goods has fresh sourdough loaves.
They do.
Without canola oil, I want to say.
No, there's no sourdough loaves with, I mean, there is probably.
There is a
but like
most. One of the most contaminated things is bread.
That makes sense.
Like they just put crazy stuff in there.
Yeah. You should only have like 3 ingredients in bread, I think.
Yeah, literally. But the farmer's market now makes it easy to get that stuff. Pretty good. Okay. Should we do house calls?
Let's go.
Lego. Okay.
We didn't do house calls last episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Celluverse.
Wait.
His father passed.
Oh, no. We'll start over.
Hi, Celluverse. I'm calling on behalf of my husband. His father passed away of melanoma at a young age, and we are now in our 30s. We live in Southern California, so we are in the sun often. We love the sun. We have a really healthy relationship with the sun. My husband surfs every day. We try to get morning light, and we spend a lot of time outdoors. We totally appreciate the benefits of sunlight and absorbing that. We are also very mindful not to get burnt. That should be noted. Anyways, my question is, my husband has been getting routine skin checks every couple of years. And the last few appointments he's had some moles come back as severe atypical, and then he's proceeded to get them cut out. But each time he's gotten them cut out, he's had a bit of a reaction, just swelling, itchiness, kind of an allergic reaction. And it's kind of started to put a sense of dread into him of, am I going to have to be getting scraped and cut into every couple of years for the rest of my life? And I'm just curious if there are alternative routes when you have a severe atypical mole. What else can you do? Or is this just kind of the way? The one thing I do know about skin cancer is it spreads quickly, but if you catch it early, it's no big deal. Like if you can find these moles before it turns into anything, they say that's good. Is that the only route? Is there anything else we can be doing? Is that the trajectory of his life? Is he going to be getting cut into and scraped every couple of years? Because obviously getting a mole removed is way less severe than skin cancer. So if that's our reality, that's fine. But I'm just looking for more information. What else can we do if we're in our 30s and he keeps getting severe atypical moles? Like I said, we eat so healthy. We love the sun. We're doing all the things that I've read internally to like try to avoid these things from happening. But at the end of the day, he does keep getting severe atypical moles.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, that's a great question because skin cancer is the number one cancer and it is growing despite the use of sunscreen. And there's 3 kinds of skin cancers. There's basal cell cancer, which is usually just superficial. There is squamous cell cancer, which is usually superficial but can be invasive. And then there's melanoma. So one thing about cancer, you don't catch cancer and it's very minimally genetic. So I think maybe changing that because your father-in-law, died of melanoma doesn't mean your husband's going to get melanoma. But sometimes we pass on those belief systems. And so it sounds like you're doing all the great things and the sun is really good for you. And actually the sun has very little to do with melanoma. It has to do with basal cell and squamous cell, but not melanoma. Because believe it or not, melanoma is usually found on the areas that there's no sun. Now, I don't know where he had his lesion. And atypia doesn't really define it. Is it atypia like a squamous cell, basal cell, or is it atypia with melanocytic features? Okay. So there's very, very different. So what I would do is, like, I know you're trying to be healthy, but we're all trying. I mean, not want to say that we're not trying to be healthy, but just trying to be healthy doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. But there are many things that could be contributing. Okay, I mean, obviously they're focusing on your sleep and the water and the eating and all that good stuff. But if you get a little lesion, like one of the best things you can do is either use a high dose topical vitamin C. A lot of times that will eradicate it. It's just that. There's a new substance in the United States. It's called ozonated glycerin. It's ozone with glycerin. It makes this compound called glycerite. It was created by the Japanese about 21 years ago, and it's amazing topically. And then there is a great substance made from eggplant called Curaderm. And I have had patients over the years. It's not a new thing. It's been around for a long time. And it's an eggplant extract that you can put on the abnormal lesion. So I would do that so you won't have to continue getting cut open, which basically you're injuring your body every time that you're getting a biopsy. And then if you do have to have something removed, there is something, it's called endolaser. And what you do is you apply something called aminolevulinic acid, and that activates the pathological tissue. And then you apply the laser on it so there's no cutting and no injury to the body. It just the laser basically takes the pathological tissue and removes it. So that's a relatively new way of getting rid of lesions that are atypical. So I would try those other things first. As soon as you see something abnormal, either use high dose topical vitamin C, take vitamin C orally every day. And then I mentioned the ozonated glycerin, and then the Curaderm is very efficacious for basal cell and squamous cell cancers.
Are those all things that you could just get yourself, or do you have to have a doctor? Okay.
Yeah, you can get all those yourselves.
Okay, and then the laser, you can just like look that laser up and see who provides that.
Because we've done it we do it in our clinic.
Okay.
It's a German device from Germany that a very skilled German doctor, he's still alive in his 70s now, that developed. But it's just a beautiful way of removing abnormal skin lesions without injuring the patient. Because, when you go to the dermatologist, most of them, not all of them, most of them are, okay, here's the biopsy, and then you go and get the surgery. Now, typically for a melanoma, though, you must have a wide excision of the melanoma if you do have melanoma, because melanoma is a dangerous cancer and can spread to the rest of the body. But he needs to find someone to look at these pathologies to decide, is it abnormal cells like melanoma, or is it like basal cell or squamous cell? But do practice more prevention than reactive treatment.
What's interesting about melanoma is it's so much more aggressive in men than women. Men are more likely to get melanoma than women too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious where they are, because if they're like on their feet, they're like way more aggressive. Like the the moles and the lesions and stuff. So, it's just super interesting. But one of the things that we write about in our book about melanoma is like how important TSH is. So I wonder if he's gotten his TSH checked and like if it's high. Because when like thyroid levels are low, TSH will rise, but TSH can interact with the cells of melanoma and be really inflammatory. So
right, yeah, it's because it's an inside problem.
Yeah,
like melanoma is an inside disorder.
Yeah, melanoma is not like, it's very different than other types of skin cancers, and people put them into one,
and it's not
category, but they're so different.
Yeah, very different. So you want to really prevent melanoma.
It's very aggressive.
Yes, so because it's very aggressive.
Yeah, and also it feeds on glutamine, so like making sure they're like depleting diet of glutamine would be good.
Like for people that have gotten these atypical moles removed, could you call your doctor and like look and have them look back at it and be like, what type was removed?
Yes.
Or is that something that they even...
Oh, yeah. You look at the pathology. I look at the pathology of everybody, no matter what it is. I examine it and then I teach the patient what it means.
Oh, that's
because it's patients are smart. They can learn.
Yeah.
So they need to, you want to know what's really going on in your body.
Totally.
So he can look at his, and if he needs to, he can go to a doctor and say, or, meet with the pathologist. And I need to understand this. Is this melanoma-like? Mm-hmm. I mean, because if it is, then he needs to take more precautionary measures internally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what his entire hormone profile is too.
Right. And look at his hormones.
Like testosterone, cortisol, and estrogen.
Right. So.
Can men do RANA tests?
Yeah. Yeah, I gave one to my male friend. Yeah, because a lot of times it's just different. Like women and men have the same problems. We live in the same environment. We live in the same world. It just manifests differently.
Correct.
And men get more melanoma, but women get more breast cancer, but it just manifestations in different ways. And also we also write in our book about how sunlight isn't totally out of the story. Sometimes it's sunlight interacting with polyunsaturated fat in the tissue.
Chemicals in your body.
Yeah, and so it's like the interaction of the two. So making sure they're PUFA depleted, glutamine depleted, suppressing TSH with thyroid maybe if that's needed. Getting on that NDT, that desiccated thyroid, that Sinomel from Mexico, that T3. We'll get to the bottom of it.
In this household, we love NDT.
The NDT 9218. Wait,
926 188.
Okay.
Just got to edit this out, I assume.
Or people can just get into this. They can take this. Okay, let's do this one. Wait. Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Keneally. First of all, thank you so much for all that you're doing. I've been following your account for a few years now, and I've learned so much. I'm currently a pre-med student, and I'm wondering what advice do you have for pre-med students and medical students and how they should approach their training in medicine? And also, are you available for shadowing?
Oh, love that.
I do love that. That's great.
Question.
So pre-med means she's in college. And so she's taking biology and chemistry and organic chemistry and physics, all the required courses, calculus. So that's great. And then she'll apply to medical school. So I would, first of all, if you're into this, the combining the best of conventional with integrative functional medicine, there's a new medical school that is going to be focusing on teaching doctors functional medicine and growing a garden and lifestyle and all that kind of thing. So, and I think really the medical schools of the future will be like that. And then she could there's a course called IFM, Institute for Functional Medicine, and then just start reading books, all kinds of books on the integrative functional approach, whether it's on cardiovascular disease or cancer we talk about, or anything. There's lots of books written on the natural way of taking care of medical problems. And because when you're in medical school, you're learning the basics. You're learning anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, which you absolutely need to do. And then when you're a junior, you go rotate. So if you're lucky, you can rotate with a doctor that's in functional medicine. So I have a lot of students who rotate through my clinic, PAs, nurse practitioners, and doctors. So you get a flavor, you get a front row seat to integrative functional medicine. So yes, we welcome people like you because that's how we're going to teach this generation. And I am developing a program with another doctor to really create a fundamental teaching course for students and doctors on integrative functional medicine, like learning it and then how to execute and see a patient that way.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for
Stuff.
being interested. This is great.
Yeah. I feel like read everything you can.
Yes.
Come up with your own philosophies,
Right.
Read.
So it is, because it is the future. Because the CDC says that 76% of people are ill. So that means our paradigm of medicine is not working.
It's not working.
It's not working. So we have to really all take a close look at what we're doing and reinvent a new algorithm and paradigm for medicine.
Yeah. She sounds really open-minded.
I know,
feel
it's
like
great.
that's
I love it.
Not that common these days with like medical schools sometimes. It kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes people graduate medical school and they seem more closed-minded than before.
Because they're basically taught what to think, not how to think.
Yeah. And they like don't want to keep learning. It kind of seems sometimes.
Right, and we're always learning. So.
Yeah.
Things are always changing.
Yeah.
Always changing.
This one pediatrician, he had just graduated and he was like, no, like this is the way it is with vaccines. And I was like, well, how do you feel about that? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? And he's like, this is the way it is. Like, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, we need to be open to the world.
Wanted to talk about
and
it.
everybody's ideas.
Yeah. Let's do this one.
I just started listening to episode 3, and you mentioned how Dr. Ray Pete talked about that lactate can be a contributor to cancer. I was just listening to a presentation by Dr. Rhonda Patrick, I believe is her name. I think she's a PhD, not sure in what, but she was talking about the benefits of like high intensity exercise because it does produce that lactate, which produces BDNF, the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, that she was saying it was very beneficial for like neurogenesis and just promoting brain health. So it'd be interesting. I don't know if you guys can comment on that, and I guess tying in what Dr. Ray Pete and his work. And yeah, I guess what the story is with that and comment.
Okay, got it.
That's a great question. That's a great question and comment.
Yeah. I mean, when you make a lot of lactate, when you exercise, the body literally has a way of getting rid of the lactate. It's called the Cori cycle. That's because it doesn't want you to be exposed to too much lactate. So I don't know if I agree with Dr. Rhonda Patrick, but you can literally see like one of the first signs that you have cancer growing in the body is doing a blood test and there's lactate. Lactate is a very energy depleted state. It's what cancer cells literally make. Not saying exercise is bad, but it is the same substance. It's the same molecule, lactate. But the body has a way of dealing with it. It literally recycles lactate like sometimes back into sugar. So you don't want too much lactate in the body. We were just talking about yogurt, and like one of the reasons I personally don't like the taste of yogurt because it's too lactic-y. But also Ray Pete is known for not being, he's very, he has his own opinions about lactate, and that's kind of that's kind of where we were coming from.
Right. Yeah. So when you do exercise and extreme exercise, you will make lactic acid, and your body has this beautiful way of getting rid of it too.
Yeah.
And so I know the BDNF is when you exercise, you increase your BDNF and brain-derived neural growth factor. And that's great. It's awesome because exercise is great. Everyone should be exercising. Now, the removal of lactic acid, like the best thing you can do is you could take a little baking soda. And if you want to get rid of your lactic acid, I know when I see cancer patients, we do check lactate dehydrogenase on everyone. And because cancer patients are acidic, and the environment of a cancer cell is acidic. It's a fermentation with lactic acid. So it is a problem that's been unchecked for such a long time. But we have our own way of buffering the body.
Yeah.
And so we need to honor that system. And then if we do need a little help, I know older patients, that system isn't as good. So a little baking soda, or sometimes I use one that has potassium in it because a lot of times people are low on potassium. But a little bit of that, maybe doing a little sauna therapy, doing an Epsom salt baking soda bath, you can get rid of lactic acid just like that. So it's a great question and comment, and it is a normal production to happen. But we also have this physiology that takes care of it too.
Growing up, my dad used to be like, after you go on a long run, drink a latte because the espresso helps with the lactic acid. So I always would drink a latte after a run because it
Ahead of his time.
made me feel so good.
Yeah, I mean, lactate is a byproduct of fermentation, and actually, it's a concern for cancer patients because it makes you more resistant to chemotherapy.
Correct.
So
And it perpetuates that cancer cycle.
It's a vicious cycle. Cancer cells make lactate, and lactate feeds cancer.
Exactly. That is correct.
So you don't want too much of it, but
The girl that we go and see for our colonics, she really likes doing colonics to get the lactic acid out, and you can actually see it when it's coming out of your body.
Yeah, it's great.
I need a book with her. I'm due for a visit.
So fun.
But yeah, people always say, does that mean you shouldn't work out? Like, no, normal amounts of workout's completely normal and reasonable for the body to handle. It's like excessive.
It's like the buildup.
Yes, and there's so many benefits to exercise. So
it's the buildup of it. And also, like, marathon runners are not known for health. Like, a lot of times they have severe health issues. So I think that's actually more of a sign of you don't want
that's just
too much
because it's excessive.
It's excessive. You want normal conditions.
Right.
I mean, sometimes running 26 miles is really beautiful. And I can't recommend it enough. But if you're in a good spot, the adrenaline of a race, it's a lot.
Right.
Yeah. And I think like doing it once is different than like being a lifelong marathon runner.
Yes.
Mean,
Yeah. But I mean, I think there is beauty in a long run by yourself. But if you're the type of person that's constantly signing up for a race, it's like you're not just running for the love of the game. You're like signing up for a race with the adrenaline, with like everything.
The high.
So that's
and men need that oftentimes too, more than anything.
Well, women too sometimes.
Women too, but I was just thinking about Sean doing his marathon. Sean is Jess's husband.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know exactly what she said. You know, I don't listen to Dr. Rhonda Patrick, so can't comment exactly. But there's some things we know about lactate, and it's not all roses.
Right. But you can neutralize it.
Yeah, you can neutralize it with a bunch of different things. And I actually think more people should do like blood testing of lactate. It can be really interesting. It's one of the first signs of cancer brewing.
Right.
It's high lactate tea. Okay. We didn't even like celebrate your pregnancy enough, I feel like.
I mean, it is very early.
You're wearing pink.
We'll do it the next time.
Yeah, we'll do it next time. I had the Leora iced coffees, and I want to recreate them today now. The blended iced coffee.
It's viral for a reason. It's pretty delicious.
It's so good. Wait, what were we doing? What were we saying we're going to talk about today with the cozy weather? Hot chocolate. But what was the other topic?
Oh, it was you want to go to coffee shops and restaurants and have a list of
right.
10 questions that
we
you
have to create that. So
Yeah, we're still working on the
let's
10
work
questions.
on that.
certified.
Yeah.
Let's work on that.
I really want to do like videos of you going into like Wingstop and being like, is your water purified?
Purified.
A
Yeah.
very Paul Saladino vibe.
Yeah, I know.
Any restaurant I do that.
It's kind of cringe though, those videos. I'm like, get out of their face. Like, the poor guy's just working his job. And they're like, is it purified?
Like, you think it is?
Should we do one more? I was kind of just thinking we would be done.
One last
One last swim?
One last one, and maybe cut out that little
that little interlude.
I kind of thought we were done.
If someone is ER positive, what does their daily diet look like?
Simple to the point question. I like it.
Yes. So she asked if you were ER positive, what does your diet look like? Well, I think one thing I wouldn't be eating would be soy. And I would be avoiding flax seeds because flax seeds can be estrogenic. So those two things for sure. And then you want to eat a diet. I don't even like to use the word diet because it's just such a temporary word. Whereas if you just choose an eating, a way of eating.
lifestyle.
Yes. And so you want to eat, you want to have fat in your diet, good fats, like avocados and coconut and butter, these kinds of things. And then you want to eat proteins. So protein would be meat, chicken, turkey, lamb. And then you want to have fruits and vegetables. And you want to have a little bit of those in every meal. And too extreme of anything is probably not good. And we talk about it in my book. I think Alana does talk about it in her book too. But stick to real food. That's the first thing. And then get to balance. So a balance of beautiful fats, beautiful proteins, and fruits and vegetables.
And ER positive is estrogen receptors positive.
Positive, right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go into like a huge deep dive about what you should eat, but I think, avoiding seed oils and things high in polyunsaturated fats probably.
Mm-hmm.
And fruits and keeping cortisol down. Fruit can keep cortisol down. Avoiding flax, any sort of phytoestrogens,
Correct.
which is very controversial on social media. But flax is,
Like hormonal people love
Estrogen.
flaxseed.
they love it.
Yeah.
Chia. The second you bring up chia, all hell breaks loose online.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get between the girls and their little seeds.
Right.
It's really scary, but it's the good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't know people were that attached to chia until recently.
No, it's like some people's entire personality.
They go to war
chia seed
for chia.
pudding, the water, the mama chia.
The cycle syncing with the chia. Have you seen that?
The seed cycling.
The seed cycling. Out of control. These people. So keeping seeds and nuts pretty low because of PUFA, when you have cancer, your diet is even more paramount. You may have less leeway than if you're, metabolically healthy and healthy.
Yeah, the
You
key.
got to put this number one thing.
Right. Yeah.
Number one thing.
Number one thing is what you put in your mouth.
Yeah, and
Period.
that's a beautiful thing because it's what you can control.
Right.
Thank God that's the number one thing. So, yeah, good milk, a lot of calcium in the diet. I already said fruit, no seed oils, no nuts.
Avoid hormone-free meats and chickens and dairy.
Yeah. What else? Gelatin gummies.
We love gelatin.
That's good.
What else are we eating? Sorbet.
Orange juice.
Orange juice, yeah. I have
Good
a little
salts.
And organic, eating organic. Eating organic foods that are real foods.
Yeah.
Not
The less ingredients, the better.
Yes.
Yeah, because like with estrogen, sensitive cancers, the reason why if you're obese, you're more likely to get breast cancers because fat makes its own
Depot for estrogen.
Yeah, so you want your body weight to be normal.
Correct.
And I think eating right is one way to do that.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons. And then you want to eat foods that will promote progesterone. So a lot of foods do that though.
No, there really aren't.
Well, I mean in the way that like cholesterol is the building blocks
Right.
and vitamin A. So like if you eat foods high in vitamin A, you can make progesterone. A lot of people are progesterone deficient because they don't have enough cholesterol or they don't have enough vitamin A in their diet.
Right.
That's what I meant. But yeah, you're right. There's not a lot of foods that are like
Directly linked.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I hope that helps. I have a little free PDF on eating.
So yeah, they
If
can
you don't wanna
request
buy my
that and start with that.
I think it's a good little PDF. Okay, what are you guys doing the rest of the weekend? Baby showers.
No baby
Jess is always at a baby shower. She's like, I can't come. I'm at a baby shower. I'm like,
Well, that's
okay.
good. People are having babies.
Everyone's
Love
having
it.
babies. Jealous?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been another amazing episode of Celluverse. We're so happy you guys are here, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Celluverse is the podcast where we get real about what's making us sick and what it actually takes to get better. Hosted by Alana Keneally, Jess Donovan, and Dr. Lee Aaron Keneally, this show pulls back the curtain on mitochondria, metabolism, hormones, toxins, cancer, and all the stuff your doctor shrugs off. We dig into the science, but also the lived experience of what it means to be healthy in today's world.
Just a reminder, anything discussed on this podcast is not medical advice.
And nothing can actually harm you if you're pure of heart.